Accept responsibility for everything you do and repair any mistakes or problems you caused immediately and at no cost to the client.
The most irritating thing that can happen is when the service provider makes a mistake, or the builder comes in to do some renovation and he creates more damage on the other side of the wall. And he says, well, I didn't do it. It was like that before I got here. And, oh, I'll fix it, but it's going to cost you. In life, nobody's taking responsibility. The way I speak personally. So if I call the phone company and I'm talking to someone and something went wrong with the phone system, I say, you know, you did this. I'm talking personally. I'm talking to a person. I mean the company, but you guys, you know. I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with that, you know. People get very resistant to accepting responsibility. Everything, it's deny responsibility at any cost to save cost. So if you will accept a full responsibility for everything you do, any mistake you make, then you may lose a little bit here, but it builds up later. In one of my photo stores, I didn't sell equipment, but one client wanted to buy a camera. So we looked at the catalog, and it was a camera from Fujifilm, and he said, I want this one. I called Fuji, how much is it? They told me, I quoted the price to the client. He said, great, we ordered it. When it arrived, the invoice from Fuji, which is, you know, major corporation, was higher than they quoted me. And they wouldn't do anything about it. They said, well, that's what that camera costs. Sorry. You must have been misquoted when you called the agent. So I had to pay the higher cost. But I still sold it at what I quoted. So I lost money. But I have a client, had a client, because I don't have the business now, but I had a client who was so honored that I would do that for him. So he wouldn't lose money. And he could stay in his budget because he had to budget for his holiday. That, oh, he came back forever and he brought all his friends. So if you're willing to lose a little bit when you make a mistake, you have to think of the law of cause and effect. Everything I do is a cause that's going to create an effect, an event. And that event creates another cause, which creates another event, which creates another cause, which creates another event. And so if I will do everything to make up for whatever I do wrong, this relates to living guilt-free. If I'm living guilt-free, I have no regrets, no fears. I can go into any job and take any project and do anything anyone offers me because I'm not worried. A friend of mine worked, had a government job, an office job when he was younger, and he hated it. And he quit. And he started mowing lawns. He had a little Volkswagen Beetle. He took the front seat out of the Beetle and he put a lawnmower in. And he used to go to people and mow their lawns. And he made a few bucks and he made a living. And he supported his wife and his kids, you know, a little bit. And then one day, one of his clients said, can you put some bushes and shrubbery around there? And he said, yes. And he did. And then someone said, can you build a little retaining wall? And he said, yes. And then he did. And he said, I had no idea how to build a wall or to plant bushes or do any of that. But I know that I'll figure it out. And if it goes wrong, I know I'll fix it. And because he's accepted total responsibility, because he's such a pure person, he was raised well, because he had that confidence in himself, he said yes to anything. And he ended up making about, I think he told me one year, $400,000 on his little landscaping business. So he could build up to a huge fortune, a big business, because he had the confidence that he would fix anything that would go wrong by his actions. And he did that once. He was doing some work and there was a hornet's nest in one of the bushes. And he got stung by a hornet. And he got so angry he poured gasoline over the bush and burnt it. He didn't like the hornet. He got angry at it. And the woman, the owner of the house, came home in the evening and she said, what happened to my bush? He said, I don't know, it caught fire somehow. I'll replace it. You see, because he didn't mind to take out his vengeance on the hornets because he knows he's not going to make the client suffer. He'll fix it. So we can live free. You can do what you want. There's no inhibitions, no fears, no restrictions, because you know you will fix whatever damage is caused by your actions. So even if you don't do any damage, your whole experience of your life is totally transformed because you're free. You're not restrained by fear. And everybody knows that with you, they're covered. I had one fellow, I was talking about an investment I was doing. I said, you know, it's quite good. Do you want to invest in it? And he said, sure. Yeah, actually, it's happened twice. It's happened twice to me. Anyway, in this first one I'm talking about, he said, yeah, I'll put in $80,000. Here's a check. I said, what are you giving me this money with no contract, no papers? He said, I know you're good for it. What an honor. At another guy on one of my companies, he invested, I think, about $90,000, $95,000. Same thing. He just gave me the money. No contract, nothing. What an honor. Now, if you want to feel good about yourself, that's the way to do it. Have developed such a character that you have such a reputation that people would give you $80,000, $100,000 without any contract or receipt or anything that guarantees them their money because they know that your word is so valuable. And like I say, if you want to have self-confidence, self-esteem, to feel like a human being, this is the method by which to do that.